What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk to you today about a story that I seen yesterday. Well, I seen this morning, talking about something that happened yesterday out there in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And it's about a fight that began in a Chipotle between a worker, I guess a server, and a customer. And it was over a dispute over guacamole. Guacamole. Dispute led to a fight, and the customer pulling out a gun and shooting said worker after the customer, in my opinion, did some old ninja stuff. Every time you go into a food establishment, right, there are certain rules you have to abide by. There are also certain ways that they prepare the food that they have to, or they're instructed to do a certain way, whether it's to minimize cost or it's just standard procedure. It's not my right or anybody else's right to go out and go forth and turn the tables of what you think good service is in an establishment you yourself go to. Take a look at this video. We'll come back and talk about this a little bit.
We've been covering the news for a long time, but this is a first. A shooting over a guacamole at a crowded restaurant with tons of people eating and in line. It's hard to believe, but we talked to witnesses who saw it all firsthand. Take a look. Chaos at Chipotle. A customer shoots an employee.
It was loud, and then we all just ran out because it was, wouldn't expect to, I wasn't really thinking about there was going to be a shot, but there was.
It happened shortly before 7 o'clock Friday night at the Chipotle on Evergreen in Southfield. Witnesses say it all started out as an argument over food. A source close to the investigation says it was specifically over guacamole.
I was just eating a bowl, and I heard shouting. And then I look over, they're arguing. One of the workers went to the back, I don't know why. And then when he was in the back, the customer walked around the counter, tried to grab his food and put it in a bag. And then the employee came back and they started fighting. And then we heard a gunshot and just ran out as quick as we could. The employee, a 21-year-old man, shot in the leg but expected to survive. Meanwhile, the suspect.
He took his time getting out. He was probably 30 seconds after it. I was in my car and I saw him just walk out to his car, close the door, and just drive off. Like he didn't speed off or anything. It was weird to see. Police arrested the 32-year-old man in a parking lot not far away. Customers who witnessed it all, not surprisingly, in shock. That's not something you would expect, like ever. I wasn't really thinking. I was just trying to get out of there after I heard the shot because it got real all of a sudden. I still really have not processed it. It's going to take me a while for sure. It was very scary.
Such an incredibly bizarre story. Now, of course, they closed the doors as soon as police got there. Once 911 was called, the scene was secured. But we talked to people who came to either pick up food that they'd ordered or just to place an order, and they were shocked as well to find out what had happened. Meanwhile, no word on whether or not the guy took his food on his way out. I'm sure more to come on this one.
Guys, that's the video. And looking at the video, it seemed like when I first seen the video, and I had to go back and look at it, I thought the employee went over there and just hit him. What happened was, if you went back and looked, because it did look like the employee hit him first or pushed him first. And I was like, okay, well, what's the employee hitting on the guy and stuff like that for? Reason why was the guy was disrespectful. He goes around the counter where the food is, and they have to have certain protocol with handling the food, like gloves and face masks and stuff when they're serving these people. This guy goes behind the counter, no gloves, no nothing. He gonna go back there and make his stuff. Now, let me tell you something. They said this guy was in his 30s. Big guy, as you've seen. It's no damn way he don't know better. If you don't have a problem with the way they're serving your food, either you get a manager to get your food made the right way, or you do what? You leave. Don't pay for it. This guy goes back there touching the stuff. They know there's certain type of protocol with dealing with food, but these type of people that do that don't care about nothing, and they want to go back there and prove a point. You going back there, and honestly, he was committing the crime. He was. You're not supposed to be going back there and taking control of a whole establishment that's there to serve you. Go back there, he gonna start sticking his hands in the food and making it the way he wanna make it. You know what I'm saying? The guy had a right to come out there and try to stop him because that's that guy's job on the line. Now they said the guy went in the back and then came back. That's neither here nor there. We don't know what happened because the guy that went in the back and came back was the one that got shot. So they didn't say he had no weapon, so we're gonna take it as that. But either way, the guy got shot because he put his hands on the dude. Dude was mad, pushed the guy out the door, and then shot him. Then you seen him standing with the gun. He's screaming, got the gun out. You so irate over food. But then when you left, the food wasn't important. Then they said the guy just walked away. You caused hysteria in a crowded place where drama shouldn't even be an issue. These people in there trying to get nourishment for themselves, whether they got to go back to work or it's after work or anything. Just because you come into a place don't mean you own it. And like I said, he went back there like he owned the place. You went in a food establishment looking crazy as hell, and you want to just go back there and touch what you want to touch. Businesses don't run like that. Being a fast food employee, whether it's Chipotle, McDonald's, or whatever, a lot of people go and look at you like you less than. And if they have a chance to get over on you, they're going to do it. This is a perfect example, in my opinion. This guy wrong, and he need to be locked up. You shot a dude over food that you didn't even leave with. So what was more important? Your pride because he touched you and you should have been touched, or the fact that you didn't get your food made your way like McDonald's? Think about that. This is stupid as hell. This guy in his 30s, probably got children and everything. What type of message you think he's getting off? Now, I know there's a cliche out here that says, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That doesn't apply all the time in all situations. And this one right here is a perfect example of that. That dude was out of line. Another thing is, I ain't no ninjas like guac. I hate guac. You know what I'm saying? They fighting over guacamole. If he ain't give you enough, you could have got some on the side and said something to the, listen, this is the thing. I don't have a problem when somebody does something outlandish if they didn't have no choice but to do that for their own survival or protection of somebody around them. That makes sense. I mean, everybody's not going to be put in the same position and handle it the same way. But I mean, we still have something inside of us called reserve. That right there was not worth fighting over. There are other different avenues that are set up in case some type of employee-customer dispute happens to where the customer will always win in the end, if he's right. And this guy was wrong. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.